Aston Villa just lost 2-1 to Bayern Munich, and a lot of fans will be worried after a third defeat in pre-season. But what if I told you, Villa fans have nothing to worry about? Unai Emery again today showed his brilliance, and let's discuss. Today was a brilliant test for Aston Villa, facing a Bayern Munich side who was so well coached, and we saw that again today. Bayern Munich's press was very, very good, and that's something that we normally associate with a Vincent Kompany side. And we saw in the first half, especially, Aston Villa did struggle to play through that press at times, where when the keeper got the ball from build-up, they were trying to go to the centre-backs in Lindelof and Pau Torres, but they pretty much had zero options on the ball because Bayern Munich were pressing so well. But then something changed, and that was Unai Emery made a tactical switch in terms of, instead of Aston Villa trying to build up through the sides where Bayern Munich kind of wanted them to go, they started building up through the middle, and Kamara and João Gomez deserve so much credit for that. In terms of when the keeper got the ball, he started pinging it and passing it through the middle to Kamara and João Gomez. And now, you might be thinking that's obviously a lot more dangerous building up through the middle. But no, because those two are so comfortable at the ball, when Bayern Munich were pressing, that left space out wide for the likes of Maatsen and Matty Cash. And we saw Kamara and João Gomez try to play those passes out wide when all the Bayern Munich players were pressing them. And it worked a couple of times really, really well, where Maatsen Cash drove up with all the space that was created and carried the ball forward. And that's how Aston Villa progressed the ball today against a high-pressing Bayern Munich side. And that's something that we need to give Aston Villa a lot of credit for, especially after losing Tielemans, who's so good at progressing the ball. João Gomez came in today and slotted in so well in that aspect of his game. And let's talk about João Gomez in a bit more detail. The new signing for Aston Villa, because he was arguably the man of the match today. I thought he was brilliant. Like I said before, Bayern Munich were obviously going to press up very, very high. And of course, at times, he beat the Bayern Munich press through his passing. But there was also times where he dropped that little shoulder and carried the ball forward, leaving some Bayern Munich players on the floor, like you can see on the screen here. He was sensational at that. And that's João Gomez is one of his biggest strengths in terms of his actual ball carrying capabilities. But listen, we have to give credit for his all-round game in terms of defensively done very, very well in terms of his aggression on duels. But then also going forward, you saw the goal that he scored. Brilliantly taken goal. Now, another big positive this preseason has been the performance of Bryan Maggio from Aston Villa. He's 17. He's 6'4". Mind-boggling. But today was his biggest test because he was up against Jonathan Tah today. Now, Jonathan Tah is probably one of the most robust centre-backs in Europe. He's 6'4" himself. From a physicality standpoint, he's probably one of the best in Europe when it comes to that. Yet Bryan Maggio dealt with him so well because there was points the ball was going into him and he was just holding Tah off. And like I always say, if a striker knows how to use his arm, that's a big positive because he's trying to create separation from Tah by using his arm. But then he's also strong enough to keep Tah away doing that. That was extremely impressive. And one of the biggest positives I saw today in his game was there was a point where he kind of went to Tah to initiate contact, get that bit of separation, but then started like running down the channel to beat him for pace, and he done it. Guys, I know there was some rumours about him going out on loan, but I genuinely think he can make a difference for Aston Villa this season. I know he's 17, but I actually think he's done enough in pre-season for him to be part of the, let's say, match day squads in a lot of weeks in the Premier League. He's impressed me massively. Today was no different. But I think today did exploit a couple issues Aston Villa have, and that was the lack of quality in the forward line. Even Gusud today was poor. Now, I really wanted to see him to do well, but it just felt like every single time the ball was coming into him, he was chasing his touch. Every single time he got into a duel, he lost pretty much. He won 2 out of 8 duels today. That's nowhere near good enough. And I think today should just give Aston Villa a bit more urgency in the transfer market, just to give Unai Emery another forward player. I know they've been linked to Ibrahim Mbaye, for example, from PSG. Just go get him, because he would add so much quality to the Aston Villa team, which they need, especially in terms of depth-wise, because they're competing in Europe. Obviously, got a big game on Wednesday against PSG as well in the Super Cup. Just go support Unai Emery, because he's one of the best managers in the league, and he needs more players in those sort of areas. But anyway, I think today was a very positive game from Aston Villa. A lot to look forward to going into the season. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like and subscribe to the channel, and let me know down below what you thought.